Hey guys, welcome to another lesson of Pro Teacher's Noob. Today I have with me Bianca.
Hi.
And it's been a while since we've gone over the Planet of the Apes, so why don't we go over some of the comic crossovers? In this case, particular one, Star Trek Planet of the Apes, the Primate Directive. Now, are you at all into Star Trek?
No, I'm a Star Wars person. Kind of, I guess.
Oh, but you at least know about the original series Trek, correct?
Yes,
Kirk,
with
Spock, McCoy, and all
the
that?
card. My
Not
dad
Picard.
loves Star Trek.
What?
My dad loves Star Trek.
All right, but you just said Picard. That's next gen.
Fine.
I'm talking about the original with William Shatner, Leonard Nimoy, DeForest Kelly.
I have no idea who those people are, but my dad will probably know about it.
Well, further all, this poster here and the cover here, it's actually based right off of a Dan Jurgens Superman Doomsday cover.
Oh.
Actually, let me find it. Aha, there it is. Wish I could show them next to each other, but I can't. But you saw how that cover looked, so now look at this one.
Oh, okay.
See what I mean?
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
It is. Now it's fitting actually because Bose came out in the 60s.
Oh, okay. I thought you
Yep.
meant the comics. I'm like, wait a minute.
No. The show, no, the Bose properties.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You make a lot of promises. Let's see something more tangible. I think you'll find this to your liking, General. Careful now. It's a bit more power than those wood-carved stone throwers you've used to firing. I like it. What manner of steel is this? It's Stampede sheet metal, easier to manufacture in bulk than forged steel. It can fire 600 rounds a minute, and there's 100 more where they came from. General Marius, why should I trust you? And why should we trust you? Why shouldn't you? So long as you have the means to take control, doesn't matter where they came from. What's the catch? No catch. Conquer your world. I'm certain our kindness will be returned in time. I like it. I suspect you would, and you might. We are kindred spirits, you and I. With my help, you'll have this entire planet breathing beneath your hair and your heel. It'll be glorious. Elsewhere, Niku, where are you going? I have to access the computer. What business is it to you? Tai Faj. Go on then. Nicely done, Lieutenant. If I didn't know better, I'd think you were a natural born Klingon. It's all in the attitude, Mr. Sulu. The key is always sounding irritating. Ha!
Yeah.
But they're making their way in there and trying to find out what's going on. And all right, we're in. Is the data capture running? Seems to be. This looks good. We should be out of here on schedule, no problem. Nakata! What are you doing? You had to say it, didn't you? Who wants to know? And why are you here? Who is your superior officer? So much for subtlety. Time to go. Time to go. And I think they may be onto us, Lieutenant. Keep moving. Shaman! And stop them. I've got them, sir. Now, Mr. Leslie, take us to warp. Aye, sir. Mr. Spock, if you care to join me in the conference room, let's see what kind of secrets the Klingons have been hiding. If I do say so myself, you make the most convincing Klingons. As long as we didn't get too chatty, yes, we got by. I didn't hear you making many speeches, Mr. Sulu. So, Mr. Spock, did our Klingon compatriots here strike gold? Politically speaking, Captain, I would have to respond in the positive. The data obtained from the Klingons' computers reveals that their plans for expansion are indeed already underway. However, the reason we have not seen any evidence of this is that they are not expanding into any known territory in this universe. This universe, Mr. Spock? And Through the use of these drones arranged in a fixed position in space, the Klingons have discovered a way to access what can only be described as other dimensional space. Other dimensional, like our experience with the and Hawkins, and at this point, I could only speculate. However, also in the file were the coordinates of where the Klingons had chosen to test their device. At current speed, we can arrive in in 5 hours. Now we're talking. Mr. Spock, transfer those coordinates to the bridge. Lieutenant Uhura, Mr. Sulu, once you've found yourselves again, report to the bridge if you will. Aye, sir. Kept this log supplemental. It almost seems impossible to believe that the Klingons may have discovered a way to rend the very fabric of space and time. Yet if I have learned anything in my years in this chair, it's that yesterday's impossibility is too often today's dilemma. Dropping out of warp, sir. Spatial anomaly directly ahead of us. I can see it, Mr. Sulu. Fascinating. I think we found our area of incursion, Mr. Spock. Captain, the Klingon vessels have spotted us. They're powering up their weapon systems. Shields up, red alert. Aye, sir. And they're coming in fast, but I think we could take them, Captain. Yes, but at what cost? Evasive maneuvers, Sulu. Chekhov, prepare to get us out of here. Uhura, get a transmission off the Starfleet. Inform them of our position and about that gateway. Already on it, sir. Ka-jam! Look out! Shields holding. Return fire, helmsman. Again, Mr. Sulu, don't let up. Sensors indicate their shields are weakening, Captain. The other one's coming around. Steady, Mr. Chekhov. The other one's coming around. Steady, Mr. Chekhov. Status, Sulu. Shields at 70%. The other Klingon vessel is veering off, Captain. They're leaving? That's unlike them. Heading into the portal. Status of the damaged Klingon ship, Mr. Spock. Holding steady, and weapons, engine, and shield are offline. They are running on life support only. They appear to be preparing ship-wide defensive positions. They probably expect us to beam over there for small weapons and hand-to-hand combat. Very likely. I would not recommend it. Oh, I have no intention of giving them what they'd like. Besides, what's in it for us? Exactly my point. I'm sure some of their friends will be coming for them soon enough. And I'm not sure. I like that. Why give them what they want, right?
Give me more. What I want. I want $1 million.
And Enterprise is authorized to engage Klingon vessels and investigate the portal at Captain's discretion. And Comac Admiral Starfleet Command. Well, always good to hear from the Home Office. I think I know the course of action you have in mind, Captain. You know me very well, Mr. Spock. You're not thinking of going in there, are you? I am indeed. This is hardly the time or the place for space tourism, Jim. We're already exchanging fire with Klingon vessels. So much for the treaty with the Federation. We may be on the verge of an all-out war with the Klingons here. That's exactly why I want to know what's going on in that portal, Bones. What are the Klingons up to? Why were they guarding it? You don't even know where that thing goes or if we could get back. And how about it, Spock? Is it safe to go through? Don't forget the "can we get back" part. All evidence indicate to be a dimensional gateway reinforced and made stable by those drones, which are well beyond the Klingons' ability as well as our own. The technology is more advanced than that of any culture we've encountered, Captain. I must admit, I'm at a loss to explain it. Warp signatures indicate the Klingon vessels have been entering and returning from the portal with great regularity. So to answer your query, Doctor, it does appear that we can come back if we choose to enter. What I cannot confirm for certain is how safe the Enterprise and the environment on the other side is. The portal is impervious to sensors and all forms of communications apparently by design. That would explain why the second ship went through the portal then, to let their friends on the other side know that company might be coming. What do you think is over there, Spock? What have the Klingons found? Speculation? Beyond that portal lies some sort of alternate dimension of time and space. We will not know anything unless we go through. Without further information, obviously going through carries with it a certain degree of risk. The evidence that the Klingon vessel fled through indicates stability in the portal itself. Yet what awaits on the other side remains unknown. Something new to consider, Captain. Long-range scanners indicate that multiple Klingon vessels are heading this way. At least 4 battle cruisers. We would be far outnumbered should we remain much longer. Understood, Spock. As the expression goes, time to fish or cut bait. We need to either go in or get out of here. Mr. Scott, ship status. Well, good to go, Captain. Engines are in top shape, and the shields are back up to 90%. All of them at full strength within the hour. Gentlemen, we're going to need a course right through that portal to the other side. And be prepared for anything once we get through. Keep those shields up. Aye, aye, and sir. Course confirmed. All right, Mr. Sulu? Take us in. Of course, once they're in there, they declare that it's the year 3978. Did we simply move forward into our future? I don't believe so, no. I would hypothesize this is a different universe. The future of a different universe. Based on a comparison to this ship's planetary records, this Earth appears to be identical to our own. Basically determines that just how different they are. Only here there was no recovery that eventually led to the birth of the Federation. So basically now they're wondering, what do the Klingons want here? And it's this way, Captain. There's small structures up ahead. The Klingons are in there, Captain. Look who it is. Our old friend Kor. I should have known. What the? Apes. Captain, you better see for yourself.
Oh, I'm so confused by that. I'm like, what?
What?
The next page.
Oh yeah, that's just for the in between per issue. And
yeah, I was like, wait, what the heck? Is that how your binoculars is? And then I see the binoculars and I'm like, no, that's not.
I know. Fascinating. Talking self-aware primates. Gorillas, to be specific. It appears, Captain, that the Klingons are providing those gorillas with firearms. Yes, I noticed. Things are going from bad to worse. This parallel universe appears to diverge from that of our own even more than I anticipated. Any more surprises in store for me, Mr. Spock? As a matter of fact... You there, humans! And what are you doing? Hold your fire, and hold your fire. Let's try to back out of here. This is not what I had in mind. I was hoping to keep a low profile. I think the odds of that happening are dropping rapidly, Captain. I'll cover you. Move. Boom, boom, doom, doom. Ah! Brutus! What happened? One of the humans shot Brutus with a beam of light. He shows no injuries. He's just asleep. Is this the work of friends of yours, Kor? You might say that. Well, I hope they'll be more discreet in the future. This sort of thing could destroy our entire arrangement. We'll handle it. I don't think my friends have the stomach for a fight. I hate running from a fight. Under the circumstances, Captain, you made the best choice. Continued interaction would have only further revealed our presence. And as it is, they all saw that phaser blast, and Rogers is wounded. We need to get back to the ship. Spock, what's with all the talking gorillas? Where are the humans? Clearly, my simulations of the divergent development here were less than accurate. Captain? These are the humans? Affirmative, Captain. Hello? Hello? They are mute, Captain. Not willing to speak, not unwilling to speak, simply incapable of speech. Their mental capacities are not much beyond that of young children. Are all humans in here like this? It would seem so. It appears that human society is reduced to the condition after the nuclear war. All right, let's get back to the Enterprise and figure out our next step. Jim, I've asked Lieutenant Weaver from the Enterprise Biology Center Division to join us in this briefing. I'm a doctor, not a zoologist. She'll know more about these monkeys than I will. Apes, Doctor. You could call them apes, monkeys, primates, or simians. All I care about is that one of them shot Lieutenant Rogers with a rifle. That brings us to our first point. Mr. Spock, you didn't mention to me anything about hostile sentient apes before we beamed down. I admit, Captain, that I was taken by surprise myself. Using Hodgkin's law of parallel planetary development, I ran several simulations through the Enterprise computer for scenarios of what this alternative Earth might be like. What I did not fully appreciate, however, is that the nuclear war that devastated this Earth has introduced so many variables into the equation that it's nearly impossible to make accurate predictions of planetary development. Planetary scans identified bipedal primates, and both the computers I made the understandable but inaccurate assumption that they were all humans. The apes on the planet below show advanced thought processes and language skills. They are, I would say, roughly comparable to the humans of our own universe. Their societal structure is young, however, and still very much in the process of development. Further simulations using the new data we acquired suggest that in the aftermath of nuclear war, the gorillas, chimpanzees, and orangutans that were once held as pets on this Earth emerged after the Holocaust as the dominant society. Human society, in contrast, devastated by war and radioactive contamination, completely collapsed. Captain, this is a once in a lifetime chance to study parallel and divergent development. There's never been quite such an opportunity to observe the principles of Hodgkin's law. Ah, but that's only part of the bigger picture here, Lieutenant Weaver. Are we here merely to observe? There are two primary concerns here. Number one, what are the Klingons doing here? And do we need to stop them? Number two, how does the Prime Directive apply in this situation? Does the Prime Directive even apply to parallel universes? Is there a precedent for how we should proceed? Answering that one could tie up Starfleet legal for months, and we can't communicate with Starfleet from here anyway. So I'm going to make a command decision that the Prime Directive does apply, and as much as possible, we must avoid interfering with the natural course of events on this planet. We also need to take into account how the Klingons may have already altered the course of this Earth's history. Right, Mr. Spock. Would you provide the others with an overview of the theory you and I have developed? Basically, they theorize that the Klingons are coming here, make this their mark, build up more forces in the universe, and then come back stronger to take out all the rest of the Federation. Kind of clever when you think about it. What?
Seems logical.
Exactly. Good Lord. This is not exactly what I had in mind, Mr. Spock. Oh, gee. Remember, we're here to find out more about the Klingons. How much have they infiltrated this planet? Are they taking steps to subjugate it? Look, footprints, and not ape either. Those are humans, and a horse too. That's interesting. I wouldn't have expected the humans we saw earlier to be capable of horsemanship. Let's follow. And Captain, and let's give it a try. The humans we saw earlier seemed friendly. Jim! Jim, look out! Persistent damn apes! I told you to leave me alone! And we're not here to hurt you. My God, you're a human. Sounded like English to me, Jim. Maybe the apes aren't the dominant species here after all. A single man and woman can hardly be described as dominant, Doctor. Where'd you come from? Did you follow me here from home? Those bloody apes aren't tracking you, are they? Whoa, friend. One thing at a time. Let's start with names. Mine's Jim. Jim Kirk. Jim, your name is Jim. I'm George Taylor, Colonel George Taylor. I'm a pilot. At least I was. My crew and I were on a deep space mission until we crash landed here. We thought we were on another world. I still did until, well, if you came this way, you saw it. Yes, we did. Wait, if you know what that means, then you must be from Earth, from the past. Did you come here looking for me? It's hard to explain. We're from Earth, but not the Earth you know. This is my first officer, Spock, and my ship was attacked by hostile forces, and we pursued them through some sort of portal and wound up here. Wherever this is, ship. Then you still have your ship? Yes. And more men as well? Then you can overthrow these apes and help me put humanity back on track. Colonel Taylor, one thing at a time. That's not why we're here. Who cares why you're here? We've got to do something. They're butchers, I tell you. They're treating people like livestock. Colonel, our orders strictly forbid us from indirect interference in the evolution of a planet's society. Hang your orders. This isn't some planet. This is your planet. These monsters murdered my crew, cut into their brains. You've got to do something. You don't believe me? Talk to Cornelius and Zira. They've seen it all, and they've saved me. Hey, Jim, maybe we should. All right, Colonel. Where can we find these friends of yours? Last we saw them was at the dig site, only a day's ride from here, to the south. They must still be there. Come on. Hold on, Colonel. I think we can save us a little time. Kirk to Enterprise. Go ahead, Captain. Scotty, are you seeing some sort of large activity or settlement to the south here along the lines? Aye, sir. We're picking up multiple life signs at the sort of encampment, about 25 miles south of your position. Excellent. 8 to beam to that position, somewhere we won't be seen. What the hell does beam mean? Whoa! They're still here, all right. We could go down there and try to sneak up on them. No, it's too risky. Are your friends down there? There they are. Kirk to Enterprise. Scott here, Captain. Mr. Scott, I want a low-level phaser and burst on the area directly below us. Set the stun. Right away, sir. Scott out. That's impressive, Captain. Thanks. Don't worry, your friends are fine. You look concerned, Spock. Merely observing, Doctor. Colonel Taylor remains an unknown quantity. Chekhov, Weaver, secure those gorillas with that rope as best you can and gather their weapons. Should they wake up before we make our departure? I'd rather not have them running about. I, sir. Cornelius, Zira, I need you to wake up. Oh, what's happening? I was packing things up and Taylor, what are you doing back? Oh no, more of them.
I love it
That's
so much.
mm-hmm. What? That, yeah. This has been. What have you been thinking about this so far? Now that we're getting more into the ape stuff, obviously it took a bit of a slog to get here, right?
Yeah, a little bit, but it's enjoyable for the most part.
Yep. I don't understand, Taylor. I thought you were the only one. I'm not even sure myself. They say they're not exactly from my world, and they're not from my world. Not exactly. Colonel Taylor, we need to get moving. Cornelia, Zira, let's go. You don't need to shout, Bright Eyes. What?
What was that?
Like, you don't need to shout, Bright Eyes. According to Colonel Taylor, humans like ourselves are a little more than livestock here. Is that true, Zira? It's Dr. Zira, Captain. And as for humans, well, that's the way it's always been as long as any of us can remember. Before Taylor, we had never even met a thinking human. We suspect an alien race from another world has infiltrated your society, arming and militarizing factions within it for their own purposes. We saw them conferring with the gorillas. I realize this is all a lot to believe. The gorillas, they've been more than rambunctious of late, somewhat beyond their station. Their station? Our society is a very stratified, Doctor. Chimpanzees like ourselves tend towards academics and the scientific arts. Orangutans make up the religious and political leadership, which some might say tend to be one and the same. And the gorillas have always been our laborers and soldiers, although in recent months the military aspect has seemed more active than I've seen it. None of that matters now. Those days are over. I'm sorry. Taylor, what are you talking about? You're going to help me overthrow those maniacs. No. No? What do you mean, no? It's out of the question. We have strict rules about interfering with alien cultures. This isn't an alien culture, damn it! This is your culture! This is what becomes of it! How many troops do you have up in that ship of yours? Hell, I've seen what you could do. You don't even need troops. You could wipe those baboons off the face of the map in a day. Colonel Taylor, I'm sorry. I sympathize, but the answer is no. What do you mean, no? These are your people. How can you just stand by while they're slaughtered? We're not allowed to interfere in the natural evolution of a world. Any world. It's our foremost and irrefutable order. Message receive. I understand, Captain. I was a military man once. Orders. Can we count on you to help us? Yes. Yes, I will. You can definitely tell he's just keeping it cool until he can find an opportunity. Let's be honest, he went quiet too fast. Right?
Yeah.
Now, what do you think about Taylor being this? Do you think he's being a little too bloodthirsty, or does it make sense?
It makes sense movie-wise.
Right.
Yeah, because
Especially since this is right after the events of the first movie.
Yeah, makes sense. Like he still didn't have a problem being violent whatsoever, so it's
I
pretty
think it's
on
also the
brand.
fact that he has the mindset of knowing this is Earth, not just some other planet. I bet you if it wasn't Earth, he wouldn't have cared. You want to bet he would have
I
been more.
would, yeah, I
What?
can kind of see that.
I think he would have been more understanding to Kirk if it wasn't Earth. But now that he knows it is Earth, he feels more like, I want to take it back.
Yeah,
Like, we're going to need
I
to get
feel like he
closer
would
to
fight
this.
Kirk if
Yeah.
like Kirk was an alien at least. You're like, ah,
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying if this planet was an alien, because no, he keeps saying this is Earth, and so
and
his
your
mind is,
culture.
yeah, so his mind's clearly still affected by the fact of finding out that massive revelation. Which again, this is days after.
Yeah,
Hold on a second.
take your time. The choice is yours.
I know, but so they're going to head there. But what does Taylor do? Knocks out Chekhov. Sorry, son, but I'm going to need some. But you have something I need. Jackpot. He takes the communicator. Uh-oh.
Ooh.
Yep, this is going to lead to a fight. Think about this now. Charlton Heston versus William Shatner.
William will win.
The news could not have been worse. Our food shortages is more severe than our grimmest predictions. Our population continues to grow, but our attempts to increase our agriculture yields are dismal failures. We have overworked our fields and our options for new land to till are limited. We are surrounded not only by ravenous herds of man, but also by the dangers and unknown threats of the Forbidden Zone. Wow! Within one page, we get more context to why Zaius is willing to go into the Phantom Zone by the next movie with one page. Isn't that incredible?
It is. Comic books for life, man.
You know, think about that. Didn't you ever wonder why did he just suddenly say, "Let's go over there"? I mean, you probably also thought it could have been because Taylor made him think, like, let's find there's more of them. But this gives more to it.
Yeah, you're right. Now that I think about it, I don't really think. I thought he was like, oh, well, I might as well go over there and see what's out there and die or whatever.
The prospect of famine has forced us to consider measurements unthinkable in the past. The guerrillas have sent scouts into the Forbidden Zone, hoping to find room to grow, new feeding grounds for our hungry population. The single scout that returned to us was driven quite insane, and the case remains a mystery. All we know is that we have received multiple reports of strange manifestations in the Forbidden Zone. The other scouts are presumed dead. The guerrillas are up in arms. General Marius and Ursus are pressuring for us an immediate invasion of the Forbidden Zone. Marius in particular has grown increasingly aggressive, almost insubordinate in his demands for action. They seek not only vengeance for their fallen comrades, but also the conquest of new lands that could end our desperate shortages of food. Many of the chimpanzees are reluctant to go to war. They consider the guerrillas' action hasty and ill-advised. Some have begun to protest. I've never seen the tension so high among ape kind on the verge of famine. Now we also find ourselves heading into a strife and civil unrest. Perhaps my only good news of late has been my continuing reconciliation with Cornelius and Zira. Again, referencing how the end he seemed to screw them over, and then later on they seemed to be back to being buddy-buddy. Despite their erratic behavior in the matter of that talking man who called himself Taylor, they have proven to be among my closest allies in these difficult times. I have no regrets about deciding not to press charges of heresy against them earlier. Again! A bit of a win talking, but it makes sense. It explains so much, doesn't it? Indeed, they may be our best hope in what appears to be dark times ahead. Again, this gives more depth to Zaius to Zaius, doesn't it? To be fair, he was always an in-depth character when you really think about it. Wouldn't you agree with that? Like, he wasn't all, I'm evil for the sake of being evil. It's, I'm evil because I need to keep order in the world, in our primitive world. And Enterprise, it is Captain speaking. Kyle here, Captain. Beam me aboard at once. And this is this is why it is very important that we minimize our interference. Hold on. Where's Taylor? I don't know, Jim. He was just here a moment. Spock, check over there and that way. And where's Chekhov? This Taylor friend of yours is going to get us into a lot of trouble. He is a clever one. You would not believe the problem he's caused for Zero and me. Chekhov! What, Doctor? What happened? Judging by the evidence, Taylor clobbered him. What? And why would he do that? Captain, Chekhov's communicator is missing. You don't think he managed to get himself beamed aboard? We were just telling your doctor here how ingenious Taylor can be. And also, his treatment while first in our custody has made him a little paranoid, I fear. Enterprise, this is Kirk. Red alert. The Chekhov is down and his communicator is missing. An intruder may have beamed aboard. Understand, sir. I'll check with Kyle in the transporter room. Captain, this pattern is all wrong. Compensating. Yeah! You'll be all right. I just need to borrow something of yours. Nice material. Fits okay. Ah, that's my cue to move along and for a little stroll and size the ship up. Intruder in transporter room 2. Are you new here? Indeed I am. I didn't catch your name, mister. Just call me George. Aye, Captain. He's up here, all right. We'll find him. Keep on it, Scotty. Hold on. Weaver, Bones, I need you to stay with our new friends while we sort this out. We'll be back as soon as we can. Yes, sir. It's all under control here, Jim. I'm looking forward to finding out more about ape medicine from the chimpanzees. Words fail me, Mr. Spock. Scotty, 3 to beam up. Cornelius, doesn't Dr. McCoy remind you in some way of our Dr. Zaius? Oh, now that you mention it, I suppose so in some way. Well then, perhaps you could tell me more about your good Dr. Zaius. Medical personnel to the transporter room, please. Wait, what happened? I thought I was bringing up the captain, but some sort of savage madman, he charged at me. I reached for a phaser, but he was just too fast. So as soon as they find out, yeah, he took my clothes. And time is of the essence, Captain. We need to find Taylor quickly. He's intelligent and knows enough about technology and space travel to be dangerous. There's no telling what damage he may wreak. Agreed. What's his plan, though? He knows so little about us. From what we've been told, he was captured by the apes and held under very difficult conditions. He's very angry and suspicious. We've been stranded in a foreign place. He's come to the Enterprise because he's looking for any possible way out. So once on board, where would he go? Now we're talking, just like home, only better. Captain Taylor is a pilot. The shuttle bay. Let's go! Damn it. Nothing's labeled. No gauges, no instruments. How do you fly a ship with no throttle? Colonel Taylor, please. I understand why you're angry, but stealing a starship won't help anyone, least of all you. We simply can't interfere in any planet's natural evolution. You have to listen to reason, Carl. Listen to reason? What do you know about reason, Kirk? There hasn't been a moment of sanity since I woke up in this madhouse. How can you see what these animals did to humanity and even think about helping them? We've lost everything. Pull yourself together, Taylor. I understand you've been through a lot, but there are bigger issues to consider. Bigger issues? Bum, 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 bum. The music. The fight. I'm taking that ship, Captain. It may not be as big as yours, but it'll do just fine. Doof! Colonel Taylor, George, let us help you. We're not your enemies. Bum, 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 bum.
You making your own theme music?
No, that's the actual fight music.
That's hilarious.
We don't have to do this, Taylor. Unless you're ready to help me against those apes. Yes, we do. Had enough, Captain? Damn it, Taylor. This is pointless. Suppose I give you that shuttle crap. Then what? What are you going to do? Who was it? Start strafing the Ape City from above? Take your vengeance for what they did to you? One life at a time? You're better than that. You're better than them. And you can't just leave the planet by yourself. You've got nowhere to go. Let us help you find a new direction, a new home, but it can't be built on murder. What did you come out here for originally, Taylor? Why the deep space mission? I was hoping to find something better than man. And man, I like that. Why give up on that now? What do you say, Colonel? All right, Kirk, we'll play it your way. I'm too damn tired to argue with you anymore anyway. Is everything all right here, Captain? Yes, and yes, Spock. I think we come to an understanding. Ha! That's putting it mildly. You just about kicked my head off at the shoulders. Next time, I'll take your advice, Mr. Spock. This perhaps could have gone more smoothly. Perhaps, Captain. Perhaps, Captain. Status report. Nurse Chapel reports that both Ensign Chekhov and Lieutenant Kyle are fine. Orders? Give us a moment or two to recover, and then we'll sit down for a proper briefing with Colonel Taylor. I think he deserves to know a little bit more about what's going on. Then we'll rejoin his friends below. Any sign of the Klingons? No, sir. I will attempt to further fine-tune the sensors to allow us to more easily pinpoint them on the surface. It is logical to assume that their ships are stationed somewhere, but they have yet to show themselves. What the hell's a Klingon? Later, Colonel. As soon as we get back to the surface, we'll see how deep the Klingon interference runs. After all, we haven't been gone long. How bad could it have gotten? The time is now, Core! I'm inclined to agree, General Marius. Before there is any further interference from our unexpected visitors. A gift, new armor more suited for your command. And this, a new firearm? It's so light. It's more powerful than any this world has seen, General. For you and you alone to mark your authority. Go, General Marius. When the orangutans and chimpanzees seize the force you've gathered beneath your heel, they will surrender all power to you without ever you even having to fire a single shot. Cowards, all of them. Yes, Zaius and his orangutan puppets will kneel before my might. Ride on, ride to the city, General. Ride and deliver unto me and the glorious Klingon Empire this planet of the apes. Oh dear. Kor is the Klingon commander behind all this. He's highly intelligent, devious, and absolutely ruthless. My suspicion is that he hopes to use this world as a stepping stone for the Klingon conquest of this universe. All right, then, we need to stop these Klingons from taking over the planet. I'll do whatever I can to help you out, but you need to be aware just how dangerous these apes can be. With the exception of Cornelius and Zira, as far as most of them go, the only good human is a dead human. So noted. Our next step is to return to the surface and to investigate and stop the Klingons. Can we count on your help on this? Certainly. Just one thing. Tell me you're not going to wear these ridiculous, colorful outfits down there. The ape thinks all humans are mute savages. Wearing that getup is likely to draw all sorts of apes' attention that might even get you dissected. Good point. Spock, we'll need something like we used on our first visit, something nondescript. An excellent plan, Captain, in light of what we've learned. Say, do you think you can find the clothes I left behind? I'll need to blend in too. I used to detest those rags, but at this point, wearing them's almost like a badge of honor. Don't worry, Lottie. I find it for you. I've got you covered, so to speak. Ha! I've asked Dr. McCoy and Dr. Weaver to meet us here with the two chimpanzees we met over here. Over here, Jim. Looks quiet to us. We haven't seen much activity. I'm afraid your lovely friends have vanished on us, Colonel. Your lovely friend has vanished on us, Colonel. I turned around to say something to the young lady, and she was gone. I have no doubt she's watching us from a distance, explaining why Nova's not around now. Nova's not used to so many strangers running around. I think we really need a closer look. I realize that Core most likely knows we're here. Very likely, though necessary, your phaser fire indeed might have tipped them off. Whether the Klingons know we are here does not matter at present, however. There are no life forms ahead. We are clear to investigate the building. Discreetly and quietly, everyone. Looking for something to tell us more about the Klingons' plan. Handily, Corman watched the door. And Dr. Cornelius, Dr. Zira, allow me to introduce to you to Mr. Scott, our chief engineer. Doctors, a pleasure. It's a regular medical convention down here. Mr. Scott here might be better equipped to answer some of your questions, Cornelius. Oh, I have many questions. Of course, Scotty, you won't burden Cornelius with too many details, right? You know me, Doctor. There's no such thing as too many details. I'm curious, Mr. Scott. How is it that you and Taylor seem to come from the same place, yet seem so surprised and unfamiliar with each other? Well, laddie, there's a lot of factors to consider, not the least of which is the question of time. According to the Colonel, he left Earth thousands of years ago and slept most of the way here. Thousands of years? Is that even possible? Aye, we've seen it done, though not to that extent. Of course, we discovered another way to crack the time barrier with a little something called the slingshot maneuver. But how? Oh, you have the travel very fast, nearly the speed of light, and then rapidly decelerate. At least that's one way to do it, but it's difficult. It's nearly impossible, in fact, and risky too. So this is not something easily done? I should say not. Besides requiring a mathematical genius to make sure your calculations are correct, you also need a pretty fast ship. Scotty, a moment, please. You'll excuse us, Cornelius? Of course, Captain. Scotty, we have to be careful about what we say around here. I'm sorry, Captain. I don't know what I was thinking, but he wasn't making heads or tails of it anyway. Yes, he was! I know it seems exceedingly unlikely, but even the slightest cultural contamination on our part could have ramifications that we can't even imagine. We've got to get the Klingons out of here and do it as low profile as possible. It's more than the Prime Directive at play here. I'm not even sure the Prime Directive strictly applies to parallel universes. But when multiple cultures collide like this, even the slightest action can have unintended repercussions that can rapidly get out of control. You're right. I'll be more careful. Kirk here. Captain, Our long-range sensors show a large mounted force heading towards the populated settlement we detected earlier. An army? The Klingons are working fast. Well, and keep watch and await further orders. Kirk out. Now we know why the gorillas aren't here. Looks like they're heading there, and there's an ape army heading towards your city, doctors. It can't be. And any sort of armed incursion among ourselves is unthinkable. Oh, come on. War among apes? The very notion is blasphemous. Okay, come on. Can I zoom in? Okay, I'll read it from my books. Hold on.
So small. Robert, you're muted.
I hit the mute button. Where did you lose me?
Just right here.
Right here?
Yeah.
Did you hear me do this part?
No.
Crap! Ah, crap! Why didn't you tell me earlier?
I kind of didn't notice until the next page. I was like, wait a minute.
Such conflict goes against everything we've been taught. Every ape knows the ultimate laws. Ape shall never kill ape. Our lawgiver's sacred scrolls forbid such violence. If ape begins to fight ape, our society will break down and descend into chaos. This war must be stopped before it can begin. Ape war is not going to happen. In fact, it might be playing right into Korra's hands. This may be exactly what he wants. How can we stop it? We have to talk to Dr. Zaius. Let him know what's happening. At the very least, we can warn him in the city. Perhaps he can find a way to stop this war from happening. He'll listen to you, Zira. Zaius, listen to reason. Don't hold your breath, Kirk. Dr. Zira, do you think your warnings would save lives? And can you do it without mentioning our presence? I think so, but how? I'd never make it in time. We can help with that. Scotty, can you beam her to the city? Aye, sir. Nay, a problem. Nigh a problem, except that there's always a chance someone might see her beaming in the middle of a town like that, and that would be the end of our low profile. Beaming, like before? Alone? What? I won't allow it. Allow? Really, Cornelius, you could be so primitive sometimes. I'm ready, Captain. Any assistance you can give on where to send you? Yeah, yes, Captain. The Ministry of Science. It's the largest building in the city. Kirk, the transporter room. Kyle here, Captain. Kyle, how's the head? No permanent damage, sir. Glad to hear it. Dr. Zira is standing about 4 feet in front of me. I need you to beam her to the largest structure in the nearby settlement and try to find someplace inconspicuous to put her down. No problem, sir. Energize. Dr. Zaius, there's an army approaching the city. What? An army of humans? No, apes, gorillas, our own people. Nonsense. No gorilla would ever do that. Who is this, Dr. Zaius? Dr. Zira, one of our young veterinarian surgeons. Dr. Zaius, we've had our disagreements, but have you ever known me to be a liar? General Marius has been incommunicado for longer than I am comfortable with. Please, just come look. Now, let's see your little emergency, Dr. Zira. We've all heard your exaggeration before, Doctor. I read your reports on the beast you call Bright Eyes. You'll see this is no exaggeration, General. Please, Dr. Zaius, just look to the north of the city. How can this be? Treachery! I am at a loss. Give me that, doctor, if you will. It's Marius, all right. He's changed his uniform, no doubt propping himself up as a leader of this band of traitors. Dr. Zaius, let me handle this. I'll bring Marius back into line. All I ask is that you allow me to assemble the remaining soldiers and city patrol. I'll ride out and meet Marius before he is permitted to enter the city. What about ape law? Ape shall never kill ape. We cannot descend into the kind of human barbarism. It will not come to that, doctor. I assure you. I will assure it. But we cannot allow Marius forces to enter the city. Very well. Go. Doctor, have we just made things better or worse? I don't know, Zira. The uh-oh. And one of them gets shot by one of the apes. Stay down, they're firing. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Humans! Oh. Back up, you bloody baboon! And is it over? And let's not do that. And let's not do that again, Captain. Agreed. I can't get used to how fast those monsters are. All right, Spock. You all right, Spock? I am not seriously injured, Captain. So yeah, right on. Captain Kirk. Captain, do you know what this is? I've never seen anything like it. Looks like the carrying case for a Klingon disruptor rifle. Nasty one, too, from the side of it. Scotty, don't you read a little Klingon? Aye, sir. I've seen these markings before. This is for toting around a long-range sniper rifle. Thor's not going to wait for his guerrillas to start the war. He's going to light the fuse himself. That'd be a real shame. Spock, can you track core down? I believe I can triangulate the Klingon's position by linking my tricorder to the ship's center, provided they haven't split into smaller groups in an attempt to elude us. And Cornman, are those gorilla horses still out there? Yes, sir. 5 of them. That'll have to do. So now they split up. Hey, you heard the man. Let's ride. Halt! Ursus, what are you up to? What can General Ursus be thinking, Doctor? He's hopelessly outnumbered. Perhaps. You stay here. No one is to advance or attack without my order. So it's to be a show of courage, eh? Hold steady. The city will be ours soon enough. Marius, you would break our oldest and most sacred laws, traitor, only to save us from famine and death. And what good are laws if none live to follow them? What are they doing, Commander? What are they doing, Commander? Filthy, stupid beast. I should have known he wouldn't have the stomach for true battle. Still, I've invested so much time in the fool already. Marius remains the best puppet for us to manipulate if we want to properly plunder this world. So I'll just have to give manners a little push. Oh dear! Ah! Who dares? That's some fine shooting, Colonel Taylor. Only if you think I was aiming for the gun. And come on, we need to get down there before this becomes a firefight. Ha! Whoa! Cornelius fell off. Of course, I should have known it'd be you. There are no meanly mouse Organians here to stop me from killing you, Kirk. No! You murdering thug! Oh, do you require assistance, Commander? Nah, this one seems to have got This one seems to have gotten the idea. It seems to me you have me at a disadvantage, Captain. I confess I underestimated your martial skills. I'm touch core. On your feet. Wait, well, there's nothing for it now, is there? I suppose if the Federation knows we're here, we're back to the same infuriating stalemate enforced by that damn treaty. One we intend to ensure you follow, Commander. No doubt, Captain, no doubt. Of course, it would be a shame were you to be stranded here. They're disappearing. Kirk to Enterprise. You hurry here. Any signs of the Klingon ships? Still none, sir. The second you see any ship heading toward that portal, you have us beamed up. I don't care what we're doing. Understood, sir. Scotty, you have to head back to the ship with Cornman while we get and go make sure that there's no sign of more Klingons around the city. Aye, sir. I'll take care of him. Cornelius takes the tricorder. Marius wouldn't dare attack a fellow ape, would he, Doctor? It's unthinkable. I would not have thought so. Yet we can see the evidence of treasonous ambitions in their own eyes. Still you stand, nurses? You and your traitors will not enter the city by force, Marius. I call you a coward. You dare? Roar! Our apes starve, and the preening orangutans do nothing. And we should follow you, you who disobey our laws and commit high treason? I am no orangutan priest, but their sacred scrolls have guided us for centuries. I hardly think a whelp like you knows better than the lawgiver, Marius. You shame us all. I'll show you shame. You show me nothing. Nothing! You are defeated, Marius. Your forces have seen you lose to me in personal combat. This insurrection is over, but I shall not kill you, because ape shall not kill ape. No! Ursus! 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 Oh my dear Dr. Zira, I cannot but wonder if we may have traded in on today's threat for tomorrow's catastrophe. Ursus! Ursus! Psst, over here. Cornelius! We've got to get moving. It looks like our visitors are taking their leave of us. Leaving? And what about Taylor? I don't know. And I don't see any signs of the Klingons. That doesn't mean they're not hiding around here, Spock. Still scanning for Klingon life signs, Captain. Scans are negative. All indications that they have left the surface. Not like Core to turn tail and run so quickly. Our efforts here have disrupted their plans for this planet. Without a puppet government to manipulate, Core's ability to weaponize or plunder this Earth is severely constrained. We've spoiled their fun here. The Klingons, they revel in the intrigue and machinations of conquest. I suspect, Captain, that's why the Klingons entered this universe. Their society values aggression and military adventurism. Political and social advancements within Klingon culture is dependent on it. But the Organian peace treaty, it tied the Klingons' hands. They're frustrated, and they're looking for new outlets for military expansion. Both of you, and thank you. Thank you, both of you, for your help. We appreciate your assistance and apologize for the disruption to your lives. We've done everything we can to minimize the effect the Klingons have had. The girls have kept the improved rifles that Marius got from Core. My best guess is that it's better to leave them than to try to remove them. You're right, Captain. Ursus has claimed them as spoils of war, and he'll most likely be too excited by them to look too long about and to think too long about where they came from. It's very important that you tell no one about us. We find that interference in other societies often have negative, even catastrophic effects. You need not worry, Captain. Cornelius and I have no intention of ever breathing a word of this to anyone. They think we were crazy. We already have enough problems as a result of our time with Taylor. Neither of us particularly enjoy being branded a heretic or a traitor. Perhaps Zira's warnings to Dr. Zaius about Marius may serve us well in that regard. But as far as I'm concerned, you and your shipmates are nothing but a fever dream, a figment of my imagination. Do you think they'll tell others about us, Bones? You know them better than I do. It's in their best interest to remain silent, Jim. I think they'll do so. Besides, what choice do we have? Even if we were able to make them forget about us, I wouldn't do it. Do no harm. Good advice for any physician. As for you, Colonel Taylor, I don't suppose you belong here anyway, but you're welcome to join us. We can show you a totally different Earth, one where man has conquered his baser instincts and built a promising future. I suppose you think that's a tempting offer, Captain. Join up with your merry band in a perfect world? I left Earth for a reason. I left because I thought there would be something better than human society. I think your world is the same old Earth I left behind. Sure, the ships are faster, weapons more dangerous, but it's not the same. I'm never going to fit in there. I left looking for a new challenge. I want to set out on my own. Let me go, and let me and Nova, just me and Nova. We'll get away from those damned apes and find our own destiny. No, I'll tell you what. How about you put me back where you found me? Nova and I will head up the coast as I planned, and I'll pretend this whole thing never happened. Do as you wish, Colonel. We can do that. Jim, Jim, can we leave him some supplies, rations at least? No, no need for that. I'm gonna live off the land. After the shock of seeing that statue wore off, I'd come around to a certain and plan, and I tend to follow up on that. I want to know what happened to this place. I have no love for those bloody baboons, but that doesn't mean there can't be a place for me here. Maybe I'll see what I can do to turn things around. Is man really doomed to extinction? This is our destiny. I'm not so sure anymore. For better or for worse, this is my home, Captain. I won't abandon it. Captain, the Klingons are on the move. You'll want to get up here. It's time. Farewell, Colonel. We wish you well. Status report. One Klingon ship, Captain, is headed straight for Saturn. Where was it earlier? And it was camouflaged itself around the poles or tracking us on the other side of the planet. Pursuit course, Mr. Sulu. Captain, they're hanging on us. On screen, Captain. Captain, I hope you didn't take my threat seriously about stranding you here in this universe. I needed to get you off that rock so we could settle our differences out here, as we were meant to. You meddled in my affairs down there, Captain. Let us settle this like the warriors that we are. I'm not gonna let you conquer this universe, Core. And why not? You know as well as I do how the Organians have tied the hands of both the Federation and the Klingons. The Federation grows softer by the day, and the warriors of the Klingon Empire are idle and frustrated. I think you're just wounded because I picked that parallel Earth as my first target. It wasn't very satisfying though. Somehow you humans let the monkeys take over on this Earth. Ha ha ha! Let's see if all the Organian peace has caused you to lose your tactical skills, Captain. Come engage us in battle. Captain's log, supplemental. We're still chasing Core's ship after 3 days. We've had some close skirmishes, but it's just cat and mouse. He's playing with us, waiting for something. It's Core, Captain. I spotted him. Follow him, Sulu. He's headed towards Saturn's A ring. That's very risky. It's a good way to get clobbered. And keep after him. I know it's a trap, Sulu, and make it look like we'll pursue after and all the way in. But stop just short and then reverse course. And look, 2 more Klingon and vessels, but all those ship deflector arrays are moving on ring debris too close to each other. And just hiding in those rings is risky business. Even the most skilled navigators can't avoid all those asteroids. Core's overconfidence is going to cost him. Return fire, Captain. The other 2 D7s have been destroyed in the collision, Captain. No survivors. Core's ship is on the way, heading back towards the portal. All right, now we've got him. Full speed. He's slowing down and slowing down, Captain. Just as he approaches the portal, sensors indicate engine trouble. Ah! What happened? All signs indicate the detonation of a massive cobalt bomb, Captain. Earth's entire atmosphere has been ignited. All life eradicated. It appears to have been some sort of old Earth's doomsday weapon. Bones, did we cause this somehow? What could I have missed? I tried. I don't know what to tell you, Jim. Captain, Cora has restarted his engines. He's escaping through the portal. Let him go. Oh, take us in, Mr. Sulu. Once we're through, we'll destroy the portal from the other side. We've done enough here. Like, what happened? It's gone. Everything, everyone gone. If you hadn't convinced us to come on this test flight with you, Milo, how can this be? Those fools. They must have set up that device those mutants were worshipping. I warned them, didn't I warn them? Now what do we do? Nowhere to go, nowhere to land. And Taylor, he used this trip to travel through time. Can that help us? If it only works to go forward in time, fool. What awaits us in the future? Nothing. What are you scratching around for? Maybe this can help. The slingshot effect, eh? Give me a look at that.
Slingshot effect?
That's how they went back in time!
Ew, what did they use for a slingshot?
No, you go close to the sun. The slingshot effect is where you get close to the sun. You go at full speed and then decelerate at the right time to slingshot around the Earth, and it sends you through time.
That works?
In Star Trek, yes.
That's so weird.
But
I can't imagine that actually working.
So, what did you think?
It was enjoyable. I loved it.
Yep, but does it fill in a lot of gaps between the 2 Ape movies?
Yeah. No, I need it.
What did you like best about it?
I think one of my favorite moments was Captain Kirk and Taylor, Captain Taylor. I just realized
Colonel Taylor fighting.
Colonel Taylor, you're right. Colonel Taylor.
Them fighting each other, or what? Him talking him down.
Talking him down. That was honestly something I'm like, okay, that's pretty good.
Exactly. I mean, what did you think about the fact that, let's be honest, Taylor, it makes sense for them to play this off with Taylor, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And what did you think about the stuff with the gorillas?
Well, more gorillas is great with me.
But do you also like how it kind of showed how the gorillas got even more militaristic by the next movie?
Yeah, I was like, okay, so they're getting more violent and all that stuff, and I'm like, it matches well with the second movie.
And how they had more guns by that point.
Yeah, I
Think
never
about it, they
really
didn't
knew
have
that.
that many guns. They had the little they had more rifles, but they didn't have the old machine like
Yeah, I never even thought about that. I'm like,
yeah,
yeah,
but
it would have
I,
been like, wait a minute.
yeah, I know. And what but also again, this just bridged in so much. It fits seamlessly in, didn't it?
Yes, this is why we should read comic books.
Exactly. And what did you think? Since you're not much into Star Trek, but what did you see about how the Star Trek from looking in through this?
Excuse me. Shoot, can you repeat that question?
What did you think of the Star Trek characters through this? Since you have had very little experience with them.
I at least had a lot of experience with the pointy haired guy since he always seemed to be
Spock.
popular. Yeah, Spock. Uh, Captain Kirk is not what I thought from like. I could have swore I like
Yeah.
when people talk about him, it's usually not like this.
And he's the funny thing is that's because that's the exaggeration people have about Kirk. The thing about Kirk is he's always been trying to stick to the rules. Oh, he'll get into a fight if he needs to, but only if he needs to.
So he's actually a rule book guy.
He
Sticks to the
is a no. He's a
rules.
rule book guy. No. He's a captain who follows the rules, but will break them if he knows they need to be. But if he knows that the rules are it's too big to break the rules, he won't do it.
No,
Like here, like
no.
here, like here, it was a unique situation. So he'd rather err on the side of caution and stick to the rules because it's like, yeah, we can. Who are we to decide to change the fate of this world?
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was so like, I'm like, whoa, I didn't expect this from you. This is not like when people talk
Yeah,
about you. This is
again,
not what people talk about.
it's a complicated thing. It's a complicated type of situation.
I thought he was just a womanizer,
No, no.
relaxed, lazy guy.
He is not like that at all. Okay, sometimes, okay, I take that back. Sometimes he is like that, but not always.
I
What do you
wonder
think
if
about
that was
Cornelius
just
and
the Chris Pratt version
yep. Oh yeah,
that
Pratt version.
people like to
Oh.
compare.
So what about Cornelius and Zero? Was it nice to see them again and explain how they weren't propped up on charges?
Yes.
That was again, wasn't that always the big question marks? Like, wait, there's a lot of stuff that they're ignoring.
Yeah, you just like in the movies, you're just like, just take it.
But
Don't
here
think
now
about
they
it so much.
explain it that they had decided not to do it and rekindle his friendship because there could still be a use for them.
Yeah.
And Ursus, it's nice to see it remind us that Ursus is still a good gorilla. He still believes in the ape ways. He
Yes.
wants to still push it and for expansionism, but at least we got a reason why. There's famine going on. They can only make so much, get so much more food. And
Exactly.
And given what we saw about the desert areas around the Ape City, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And
I
but
didn't
again,
expect this much trouble since, like, in my mind, before Taylor even showed up, to me, it seemed like perfect.
but now we now know. But again, the writers are trying to realize, well, what would cause them to do this? Well, what if it turns out? And then they probably looked at the maps and realized, wait, it's been mostly desert, both by the Forbidden Zone and on the other side.
Yeah.
If you're surrounded by desert, you're not going to have that much more space left.
Yeah, and I'm like, this is pretty genius.
Exactly. And again, just I guess like we said before, Taylor, his bloodthirstiness makes sense. He had just again, he was within days of finding out this was Earth all along. I think anyone would feel like, oh fuck them, fuck those apes.
I'd give up so fast.
And of course, Nova, they realized, and Nova's a low. Just have her hide off because there's too many people.
Thank you.
I know you don't like her, but
I
really,
mean, at least the comic book version of her wasn't nearly as bad as the live action. because there's no acting skills in the comic book world.
Yep. But then, of course, then things still took their course. Earth blew up. But again, I like this because it explains better than the shockwave hit them and they somehow went back in time. That made zero sense. You know what I mean? That
Oh,
just the
the shockwave.
shockwave
Yeah, yeah,
somehow. What?
yes. Sorry.
So, yeah, that somehow just the being hit by the shockwave did it. Now I do understand why they would keep it a secret because again, why should we tell them? Oh, we met these guys from another world who had technology. Like, no, just simply say shockwave hit us. Quicker to summarize.
It seems like the 2001 version where it did the same thing. I believe there was like a shockwave or
Yeah,
something.
the shockwave, but no, I'm talking about an escape. Remember, they
Ah,
claimed that a shockwave hit them, and that's
oh
what
yeah.
caused the clock to go backwards.
Mm-hmm.
Which again makes zero sense. At
Can't.
least the slingshot effect makes sense.
Couldn't they just have used the slingshot effect twice instead of
No, 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 no,
one
what?
shockwave?
No, no, no. Clearly, we saw there was no shockwave anyway.
Oh, never mind.
So yeah, overall, what would you rate this?
Mm.
9?
Honestly, it's 9.5. No,
That
no,
good?
9.7.
That good because it matched up perfectly with the tone of Apes, didn't it?
I mean, yes, but like, it's so good
Mm-hmm.
as a
All right then.
non-comic fan.
Well, next time, let's see how the apes do when they deal with King Kong. We'll
Ooh.
see you all on the next one.
Bye.
Take care.